Hello my friends, as I was looking at the subtracting with decimal numbers activity that you did, I found that many of you are doing the same kind of thing or making the same kind of little error as you are borrowing from the number to the left. So what we're going to do is just quickly go through one of those questions together to help you out with that issue. So we're going to start by saying 4 minus 721 thousandths. Now, when I write that over again in stacking the numbers, I'm going to put a decimal beside my 4 and put zeros in so that I can remember that it is a 0 in each of those place value columns. And I'm subtracting 721 thousandths. Okay, now to begin with, I look at the number that is on the far right, and it is a 0 on top, a 1 below. I cannot take 1 away from 0. So normally I would look to the number beside so that I could borrow from it. But it is another 0. I can't take from that 0. So I look to the number beside it. It is another 0. I cannot take from that. So I go all the way over into my whole numbers, and I'm going to take away from my 4. When I take 1 away from my 4, I'm left with 3. And that 1 whole gets moved into my tenths place value column, and it becomes 10 tenths. I still have a problem because I don't have anything in my hundredths column still that I can borrow from in order to make my thousandths bigger than 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow from my tenths now to give me more to put into my hundredths. To borrow from my tenths, I'm going to cross out my 10, and that becomes 9. And I'm going to move all of those, that 1 whole tenth, I'm going to move it into my hundredths, and it becomes 10 hundredths. And now that I have 10 hundredths in my hundredths category, it means I can borrow from there in order to increase my thousandths. So I'm going to cross out that 10, and it becomes 9 hundredths, and I now have 10 thousandths, because 10 thousandths is equal to that 100th that I just took away. So I now can take 1,000th away from 10,000th and be left with 9,000th. And I take 2 hundredths away from 9 hundredths, and I'm left with 7 hundredths. And I take 7 tenths away from 9 tenths, and I'm left with 2 tenths. And I take 0 whole numbers away from 3, and I'm left with 3. So my solution is 3 and 279 thousandths. What you need to do now is to go into the subtracting decimal numbers activity that you did before and check the comments that I put there. If the comments ask you to watch this instructional video, what I want you to do is take your new understanding of place value and borrowing, and I want you to redo those questions. Show me your thinking as you go. Show me that you are understanding borrowing from the columns to the left. Thank you so much for reviewing this material. I do hope that you have a better understanding of borrowing from place value columns to the left. I do hope also that you have a absolutely super fantastic glorious day. I see that the sun is starting to peek through the clouds, so hopefully we can get outside a little bit today. Take care.